Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome along to a fabulous extravaganza of loose painting. So I hope you're well, guys, and I really do appreciate you dropping by this evening, wherever you may be. And I know in the UK at the moment, if you're in the UK, very, very cold. My word. I'll put a second vest on and a second pair of socks on today because it's absolutely freezing. But so we're not really used to it. Anyway, I hope you're doing well, guys, and let's do a few customary hellos to our fantastic loose party on a Monday at 8 o'clock. So if you're new to this, 8 o'clock Monday every week we get together and we paint some loose stuff. So let's have a look who we've got as party guests this evening. So welcome along, Linda. Linda is the first in the building today. So please help yourself to hors d'oeuvres. We've got vol au vents, we've got crisps, we've got everything. We were a classy little setup. So help yourself, Linda, and get yourself a nice glass of champagne as well. So yes, just a quick question on there, Linda. If you go to the description below, there's a little click button on there that'll take you across to Facebook, and on there you'll find the drawing. So if you'd like to scoot off over there, anyone, have it on a separate window, you can just refer to that as well. So hi there, Rita, welcome along from Chile, Philly. So Chile, Philadelphia, it's comparable to where we are at the moment. So we're all chilly at the moment. Let's warm up with a bit of loose painting. Hi there, Scarlett from Atlanta, welcome, good to see you, hope you're well, and hope you're either going to watch and take a few notes or maybe even join in as well. You're more than welcome. And Linda, welcome from Cape Cod, Massachusetts. Freezing, we're all freezing, guys. We ought to knit some gloves, I think that'd be ideal. So welcome, Linda. Hi there, Sally. 9 degrees in Kansas City. Ooh, my word. 13. Ooh, blimey, I can't even calculate how cold that is, Sally. But I hope you're staying safe and enjoying the painting season. That actually goes from January the 1st until the 31st of December each year. So it's quite a small window of opportunities to paint loose. Great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hi there, Susan. Welcome from southwest France. I can never pronounce it, Susan. You must maybe enunciate it in individual little phrases for somebody like me. Sounds beautiful though. Welcome along, Susan. And Rosario, hi there from Rhode Island. Great to see you. Some fabulous painting. I loved you on last week. Brilliant work. Well done. And Wendy from, we've got a record, -20 in northern Minnesota. That is freezing plus. My word, congratulations on it being so cold. Don't open the windows, don't open the doors. That's my only thing I can tell you. Welcome along. And Barbara, hi there from Atlanta. Good to see you. And guess who's with us from Chile, St. Evanage. Absolutely. Jenny Foles indeed. Welcome, Jenny. And it must be freezing in St. Evanage. They, no doubt you'll have a campfire and paint some loose paintings of a campfire. Everything's an opportunity, never to be missed. Good to see you, Jenny. I hope you're well. And Budapest, an American quest, a family journey to 1920s Hungary. What a beautiful title from Berkeley, California. That is a fabulous title. Long, but fabulous. Great to see you. Hi there, Teresa from Michigan. Good to see you there. And welcome along Sandra from Rondodo, I'd say it wrong every week, Rondodo Beach, Southern California. Great to see you, Sandra. And Linda, hi there, good to see you. We'll scoot through a few more names gone and let's get this pencil moving. So, Maisie, hi there, good to see you. Going to get those brushes moving. And Marianne from Amsterdam, good to see you there. Susan, the keeper of the loose dictionary. So any new loose words, it's not made up, they're all actually bona fide words. Any words that are used that are not quintessential loose watercolour painting words, Susan records them in an ancient volume of loose words. So keeper of the dictionary is Susan. Welcome, welcome. No show's the same without you. Good to see you. Hi there, Janice. Good to see you. Welcome along. And Elaine there. Welcome from Delaware. Great to see you guys. You're all doing well. You're fabulous people. Okay, what about doing a bit of painting? because I don't think we've even done any of that yet. Yeah, let's start. Okay, right, so we've got our paper. Yeah, this is £140 cold pressed knot paper. Yeah, title is an antiquated name. Basically, it's mid-weight, that is thickness, and mid-texture, that is how rough it is on your fingers, paper. Nothing special, but other thing, I work flat on the table. I don't use an easel, I don't use any contraptions at all, just good old flatness, because I don't want everything to roll down in one direction. Just a quick thing I didn't ask actually, guys, do tell me if the sound is okay. Sometimes it's a bit iffy, sometimes it's fabulous. I sound like, I don't know, an actor, a really good actor with a good voice. Some weeks, others I don't. Just let me know with a yay, that'd be great. Great stuff, Jenny, thank you. Right, okay, so let us get started. Enough blather, let's get some lather on. Pencil, Peter the Propelling Pencil, yeah. 4B lead, 2B width. Hold him nice and loosely, yeah? Don't hold him too near the end, because that will draw you right from the get-go into doing tight and detailed stuff. We don't need that. So I'm going to decide the shape we're going to work with, which is going to be a rectangle this evening. And you may have seen the image, a quick scamp I did a little bit earlier. If you want to look at that or download it or do anything with it, just press in the description below, and there is a little link to Facebook, and it'll take you to where those images are. So the reference is there, guys. I'll put my little dots down, and these are my guidance. How's that sound? Guidance. Not lines, not using a ruler, basically using the dots. So start there, go to that dot, then to that dot. How simple is that? Same again, dot, 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 drag it down. Same here, got a dot in the middle, drag it across. Same again. 4 lines make up a mathematical shape. This week we're delighted to have a rectangle. There it is. Yeah. So the dots are very useful for getting a very minimal amount of drawing onto the page, which is not too accurate, but a great little guide for us during the painting process. Okay, so this week I've entitled this one, what have I called it? What have I called it? Yeah, Cornfield Days. Doesn't that sound beautiful? I'm looking forward to some cornfield days. And we may even see our regular participants in some of, well, most of my paintings. We've got Jeff and June in there, guys. Jeff and June are appearing this week. RADA have allowed them special privilege to come and join in the painting, and they will be sauntering through our cornfield. And little Jim the dog is a bit small. We might put him on a fence, but we'll see if we can get him in. Okay, are you ready? Good. Right, what we're going to start with is a line. No, we're not. We're going to start with a line. No, we're not. We're going to start with a line just above the centre. So I'm going to put a little mark just outside of the rectangle. And what I want to do, about 3/4 of the way across, about here, put another little dot. Yeah. And I'm going to taper a very slight angle going from left to that dot down. Yeah. And then I'm going to do a longer taper going up the other way. Basically, this is a cornfield coming in, and this is another one, but this is the bigger expanse with that tiny little angle. So not overly generous with the angle, that'd be great. Going to do a little village here in a matter of moments, a tiny little village in no time at all. So the back line, we've got the fields and stuff going on. About split this in half. I'm going to bring a little line down a bit further across than this one to about there, and then I'm going back up again. This is craziness. All I've done is 2 lines. It sounds as if I've spoken through a lot more, but I've just got 2 lines to depict the backfields, where the village is, and then the cornfield at the front. So we've got our 3 little zones. Yeah? Cool. Right, what I'm going to do with the backfield is, or the back fields, with an S. I want to put some little wobbly shapes on this top edge, and these are really distant trees and hedges. Yeah. Then I'm going to do the same with the other one, up and down, up and down. Don't make them too big. Remember, these are a long way away. These are at least 8.3 kilometres away. So the further it is away, obviously, the smaller it's going to be. In your mind's eye, you think it's bigger, so quite often people draw things bigger than they need to be. Got that on. Let's just split this down. You can split yours as much as you like. All I want to do is drag some lines down these fields, slightly sloping inwards, and again, and the other way, and again, and then I'm just going to split them up. Don't make too many fields, because you're making what they call a rod for your own back, i.e. you've got a lot more work to do. So remember, we're going this way, then we're going the opposite way. And they're quite gentle slopes, yeah? Right, I've got those on. We'll put a few more hedges and stuff on, but I don't want to draw too many, because as you know, the good old loose gang come cruising in and they do a lot of the work. So we don't really want to do all this, what do they call it? Drawing malarkey. Yeah, that's not what we want. We want to get the paintwork to do the job for us. So that really is an expanse of fields and stuff that we could do very quickly. Even though it looks complicated. Yeah. Right, okay. Sorry, can we just test on the sound again, folks? Beverly can't hear us, which is, I can't ask you if you can hear us, Beverly, but hopefully we'll get that back. We'll have a look at it. Right, okay. Okay, Jenny Foles, you're back in. Excellent, you star. Okay. Right, now we're going to put a few houses just here. Yeah. So really where this crucial point is there, this is where the little walkway meets the village. All I want to do is draw a few lines straight across. You know, you can put dots down, don't make them too big, because these are really the line of the roof of the houses. One line there, little one next to it. They're good to go. We don't want a massive village. Then I've got, let's go for this one, Susan. You've not had this before. A trapezium. I believe it is, anyway, or something like that. But basically, it's the roof of the shape of the roof of a house. We've just got the very basic shaping. We're not really doing anything more with it, because at this distance, that's what you're going to see. A few little lines down, so one for the corner, one for the hedge. But these will all be straight. Whatever else happens, these will be straight, unless the builder had been to my local pub the night before. These lines for the buildings are going to be straight. Okay, so I've got 3 in, but I'll put a few more roofs in afterwards in the paintwork. Easy peasy. What about a little church, guys? No country walk with it is complete without a church. So I've got a rectangle on its side, just here, behind this building. You can put it next to it if you like, but behind's good. Any spire you like. I want to go for a medium spire. Little dot, dot at the top. Join them up. What have you got? Little spire. Put a little church clock in there. Put windows, but again, we'll do those in the paintwork. So there's the village, guys. There is that village. It's not got a shop. It's only got a Greggs. It's got Harvester. No, they don't exist anymore. It's got a few shops. So if you're over that way, pop in. You won't be able to buy anything because it's not got much. Right, got that in. Now then, what I'm going to do is quite a few bits of foliage around here. Okay, so this is the line, that first line we put on. I'm just going to drag some wobbly lines in and out. Remember, some are hedges, some are trees. Big ones are trees, little ones are hedges. And also, you've got an idea of how big your houses are. So don't make them too massive in comparison. They'd be better off being smaller than too big. Same this side, bring some lines, some wobbly lines for foliage in this way. Okay, right, got that on. Village done, all the fields done, sky does itself. What about the walkway? Simple dimple. What I'm going to do is just in this corner, I'm going to put a little mark and it's going to go to there. Yeah. All I want to do, again, I'll put some dots on the way down. I sit back and think, oh, those dots are reasonable. You know, I've not got one over here or one over there that bolting off. They're reasonably straight and descriptive for what I want. Okay. Now I'm going to just move my pencil down, up and down a bit, up and down a bit, down to the village. This is one cornfield going this way, this is one cornfield going that way, this is the walkway in between, but it's really covered with foliage. Yeah? Fabulous. Okay. Right, now I'm going to extend this slightly, this side. So I'm going to take a little wobbly line a bit further across, only down several centimetres, 10 centimetres max, and that's a bit we can see. Right, the further away we are on this field, the straighter it's going to look. It's got a slight angle, but the straighter it's going to look. The closer it gets, the more this angle comes towards moi. Yeah? Just a nice simple way of describing perspective without any hassle whatsoever. We've got this field here, the same is going to happen. This is going to taper down, it's going to be straightish, or it's going to be comparable to that line there, yeah? Then it's going to come towards us again. So those lines are great little descriptions of how to depict the contours of the earth. Right, okay, got that on. Got a little fence just here, so it's got a few straight lines. And again, think about what a fence actually is. I mean, I know what it is, but how's it constructed? How close are these posts together? Where I live, they're reasonably far apart to start off with, but the further you get to the village, the closer and smaller they're going to get. After so long, they disappear. And we also need to leave in a little bit of an area for Jeff and June to appear, which I think around here is good. Yeah. I'm just leaving them as a bobble. I'm not drawing them at all. Okay, guys, so that is the drawing. We're going to have some flowers at the front just here, but we'll throw those on in paint. I'll give you a little bit of time, 10, 12 seconds, as much as you like, 13 if you like, to just finish off the drawing, but don't do too much with it, it's not vital. And I'll run through the safety check we have for all loose painting before we get started. Okie dokes. Right, okay, so brushes we're going to use are, let's have a little look. Yeah, okay. We're going to use these guys, our mainstay, and I use these most weeks really because of the size of painting I'm doing, and that's governed by the camera work and all that caper. So on bigger paintings I use more of my other brushes, but I have to use these because of this. Anyway, enough of the excuses. I hope you believe me. We've got Mini Dave. Where have you been, Mini Dave? Your hair's all over the place. Have you been out in our latest blizzard? I think he has. Look at that. Boing. Then we've got Dangerous Dave. So this is basically a small dagger brush, large dagger brush, Dangerous Dave, Mini Dave, Miss Rigger, which is our quintessential lady that does the thin lines and the descriptive work. She's very good. Miss Rigger, size 6 rigger brush, and we've got Fandango, which is our fan brush to get some texture on as well. So they're the main ones, guys. What else do we need? What about some colour? Let's have some colour. Right. We've got, the colours we're going to use this week are lemon yellow, cad orange, some of this murky stuff that I ain't got a clue what's in there, but I'll describe it as we go along. We're going to use rose opera, or pink, whatever you've got. Cad red, there's a little bit of a alizarin in there, which we'll use. We've got turquoise, maybe a bit, sap green, cerulean green, and there's a hooker's green in there. Any green you've got, you just want a mix of light and dark greens, tonal wise. Blues, guess that's why they call these the blues. Time on my hands, no, that's a different thing, that's a different thing. Royal blue, we've got, which is a Sennelier colour. I'll show you the tube, which is that one there. Yeah, so if you want to take a shot of that, that's the boy. We've got cobalt blue, I've got Indian red, I've got purple, and I've got mauve, and there's a bit of sepia. You don't need all of those colours. If you've got a few of them, that'd be fab. Your greens and blues are pretty useful on this one. So they're all the colours. Don't forget, the most vital part of this information of this week's painting will be snack of the week. There it is. What a beautiful, beautiful item that is. Yeah, it's shop bought, which I always find is the best. Apparently people try to make them at home, but I think out of a packet, easy, no fuss, and quite often you get 6 of them. I don't know what's in it, to be honest. I'll tell you in a few moments. Some sort of jam concoction, one would suggest. Right, okay, so for those painting this week, I wish you well. I'll try and go a little bit slower. But again, the tutorial will be available on YouTube for a little while. And it's always, well, for the week, almost for the week, it's on my website at loosewatercolours.com, so you can pop on there and see it on the main screen or the broadcast screen. And then after that, it's going to be in the past broadcast on the website. So there's oodles on there. I think we're up to about 135 now, so this is a few years we've been doing this, and we've not run out of ideas yet. I've only got another 1,000 ideas, and then I have to ask somebody else. Okay, so let's get going. Okay, just before we start, guys, any suggestions as to what we would do first? So I usually ask you this, but it makes you consider, as you would have to when you're working on your own, what would be your first port of call. Yeah? Any ideas? Good one, Jenny. Like it. Jenny says feels. I won't tell you for a moment. Any more ideas, guys? Direction of light. Good one, Judy. Sky. Light source. Sky, sky, sky. Just made you a Bailey's coffee. Brilliant, Maisie. That is smack on. That is the answer I wanted. Sky, sky. Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. I would go. On this particular one, I would go sky for a start. Now, when you're doing a smaller piece and there's a very specific direction of light, even though there would be on this for sunlight, really, I'd be more specific about capturing the light first with any light tones. But this is such a big expanse. We've got to balance up against what we're doing. So this has got quite a built-up area, okay, with trees, but this is going to be quite a solid area. This is going to be quite light because of what it is, cornfield, and then the field's going to be quite light as well. So I've got weak paint, strong paint, and then weak paint. So I'm actually going to put the sky on for a start and just work down to this level, because this almost is 2 separate paintings. But great answers, guys, by any standards. Right, I'm going to use, let's have a look. Yeah, I'm going to use Dangerous Dave. Yeah, so it's my synthetic large dagger brush. I'm going to get a bit of water on him, make sure he's clean. And actually I've got a new catchphrase which actually works quite well. And the catchphrase is dip, dab, and daub. Yeah? No, actually it's not that. It's not that at all. It's dip, dab, and pick. It's quite a good one to remember. So what I do, I dip my brush into the water, make sure it's clean and get the right amount of water on. Then I dab it onto the tissue, and that will actually take off some of the moisture in the brush, and then I dab it into the paint. So it's dip, dab, pick, yeah? And I do that often. I didn't realise how much I did it until I watched myself on a video. Right, bit of water on Dangerous Dave, and I want the clouds to go slightly upwards, I'll say the sky and the clouds, slightly upwards, and then get straighter towards the horizon there. So I'm going to start on the right, push a bit of water across, but I'm gently lifting the brush off, then again, then again, then again. Now I can't really see where the water is, doesn't matter, and don't worry about overrunning some of this stuff, don't matter at all. Okay, so I'm going to start with royal blue to a coffee strength. I'm just going to plonk a bit of that on so I know where the water is and I know what strength of paint I'm using. Then I'm going to drag this across and drag some more across. So in the first couple of drags I can see what I need to do. I need to make it stronger and a bit more paint on the brush. The white gaps in between are my natural clouds. So that first tester run is useful because I know I can go back and add a bit more paint to it, make it a bit thicker and richer and stronger. But if I'm very precise about, oh, that's too weak there, it's too strong there, you're fussing about a small element. By putting it on, it will guide you a lot more as to what you need. Got that on. Now I'm actually going to put a little bit of cad orange in around here, top of the horizon. Just drag some on and then let that drift along the bottom. So it gives a nice light effect, dappled light effect, and it bleeds in quite nicely. So that's what I've got. Royal blue, cad orange, coffee strength. I'm going to throw, or bung, I don't know if that's an Americanism, Susan, bung, a little bit of cobalt blue along that top edge. And again, simple thing about that is the closer the blue would be to you, wherever you're standing, the richer it would appear. So this stuff here is distant, and by making that stronger it comes forward, almost knocks my hat off if I was wearing one. So I've got my sky on, white areas of clouds, untouched paper, no masking fluid, royal blue, dragged across, and you naturally pick them up by scraping the brush a bit. Sound good, guys? Fabulous. Right, I'm going to switch brushes, yeah, and now we're going to do some feels. I'm going to start off with Mini Dave, and he's going to present me with some coffee strength lemon yellow, yeah. So I'm not really picking feels, I'm just going to run this over quite a few areas. So along here, try and keep it away from your sky at the moment. If it bleeds in, don't matter, because it'll add an interest colour. Same the other way down. Now the reason I'm just being absolutely free and easy with the lemon yellow is because I'm going to generally use greens on top of this, and this is a really nice brightener, an undercoat for green, yeah. So I've got that on. I'm even going to throw a little tinge of cad orange in there as well, a bit more sparsely, but again it gives that little golden hue onto the yellow, and it mixes easily. It's not a danger colour, i.e. a colour you throw in and that turns something to mulch or to muck, which we don't want. Okay, got those on, guys. Right, now I'm going to throw a little bit of sap green in, coffee strength, Mini Dave, but each time what I'm doing is dragging it down the direction of the object. So these feels are coming in, drag a bit there, you can actually start to pick out a few field shapes. Bit across there, just there. Like a patchwork, yeah. And again, that's still wet, but it's bleeding in. But you know, at a distance, you don't see the detailed lines at all. Little slurp of tea, coffee, light refreshment, beer, whiskey, whatever you want. All helps. All helps. Okay, so we've got those on, guys. Now, what I'm going to do is just take a very light bit of royal blue, and we've got the houses, and we're just going to have the front of those with a shadow on. So I'm just going to draw a little bit of royal blue under the eaves of the house, which is where the roof meets the wall. Same here, leave the rest white. And then I'm just actually going to daub a bit of this in various places. Maybe even a bit over there. So these could potentially be houses when we get to that position. Yeah. Not American, oh dear Susan, that's terrible. Terrible news. I was thinking all day that could be a useful word to just drop in. Right, we've got that. What we like. Still a bit wet. Anyway, don't matter. I'm going to now get some distant hedges on, and I'm going to go for coffee strength purple. Yeah. So here we are, just this back edge. I'm just going to drag a little bit of this along. Bobbledy it, and if it's too wet, just back off it for a moment or two. If it shoots all over the place. But if it just gently lifts into the sky, you are on for a certificate. You're on for a win. I'm going to finish it about there. So this is hedge. So all of these bits rising are really potential foliage. Hi there, Celine. Welcome along. Good to see you. We've only just started, Celine. Don't you worry. I'm going to do the same the other side. Now, there's two ways of doing this. You could put the line for where the field is and then work back up by pushing the brush up a little, or you can push the brush up a little and then pick out the line. Bringing this down to meet that one. Okay. Welcome along there. We've got a new visitor from Canada. Sweeto Seller, how do you say it? Sweeto Seller lot. More than welcome. If it's your first time, guys, you're all welcome. Welcome on board. Right, okay, that's the top edge. Okay, now I'm just going to call on the charms of Miss Rigger if I can. Miss Rigger? Miss Rigger? What? Oh, sorry. We've got guest, Miss Rigger. Oh, Andrew. Oh, terribly, frightfully sorry. I will be with you presently. Now would be good. I haven't got time for any presents. Okay, got this on. Now, where the hedges are, I'm going to pull a few little bushes and trees out. So I've got sap green, and I'm going to mix that with a bit of, let's go for mauve, yeah? But what I'm actually doing is getting a little bit close to the colour of it, what a hedge may be, the closer it gets to me, yeah? So we've got a hedge just here. With Miss Rigger, I prefer just to put a line on for a start. Yeah, there it is, there's the line. There's Miss Rigger. Then pushing this back up a little. And that gives me that little hedgy feel. And really it's a very simple technique for doing landscapes. It's a fantastic way just to pick out fields and hedges and all that sort of stuff. And once you crack this little technique, then you can really extend your repertoire in landscapes and all that sort of stuff. It's really very useful, because when you actually do try a landscape, you look at everything, you think, oh God, that's a bit much. I think I'll go and have another cup of tea and a cake. But no, don't go to the cake tin as I do. Just have a go in this little technique. So you do a line, yeah, push the paint up, and that will naturally give you those hedge lines and all this. And that's what I say, you can really go to town on these fields if you like. Another one going that way. Remember those little lines put on just at the beginning? Maybe one here. There you go, that's a good hedge, that is, by any stretch of the imagination. But already you've got the fields there just jumping out. One tries one's best, Demi, thank you. That's getting the underpainting on, and then a little bit of detail over the top just to get the shape going. Say a hedge there. One thing you want to be aware of or cautious of is not to chop round or reduce the ability to bring your main things into play. I've got the church there, I don't want to paint all round that, I don't want it to get freestanding. Little line, push some of this up, yeah, field away. Do I use synthetic or natural fibre brushes? They're all synthetic because they've got more spring to them, and really, spring to them, I can shape them far better. I don't want to have to drag brush through all the pigment, because it's like a dog trailing behind. It's like my little dog Toby trailing behind me in the snow. And when it's over 2 inches deep, I can't see him because he's tiny. I can just see a pair of ears and a little bark. Okay, so we've got all that on. You could, like I say, you can chop those down a bit more if you want to. Let's not bother. Next thing, we've got this area just here. Now what I want to do is just put some roofers on. Yeah. I might even put a fiddler on one of them. We do musical jokes as well. I've got a little bit of cad orange and Indian red, so it's a roofy colour. Then I'm going to just drag a line across and just drag another line for the top, then just leave it really. One's shorter than the other. Then again. Now try not to make these too perfect, because sunlight will be hitting these. So it sort of bleaches out areas, and also you've got the distance, so they're not that defined. And the third and really most crucial point of this is when you actually see, you don't see a big expanse like this in detail. You see pockets of detail. That's your natural way of picking up information. You see little things like all these are roofs, yeah? So your imagination will say, well, that's a roof, so they all must be roofs. Let's give them the credit to which they deserve. They're all roofs. But if you put them all in detail, and this is the big flaw with painting in detail, especially on a big expanse, it's great because you're telling everybody everything that's there, but it's almost like a book as opposed to a painting, because there's too much info. You want to let the viewer decide what's going on. And they say a picture can paint 1,000 words, but I sort of also think a picture paints 1,000 different words for different people. So we won't all see the same thing. A little bit of darker red in there, something like that, just a couple of tiles loose, you know what I mean. Got that on. Right, let's get a bit of, oh right, let's put a church on. What colour do you want the church, folks? Pink, lilac, or sort of a Cotswold stone colour? How's that sound? I'm going for Cotswold stone. Right, so drag a bit down there. Let's try and vary it a bit from the roof, only slightly. Spire, little dot at the top, drag that down. I've got a clock, but I'll leave that light. So just circle around that. You don't have to, but that leaves a little dot there to put some, to imagine that's the window. Okay, so we've got that line of buildings on. Let's get a bit of water just along here. So I'm going to put a hedge just here and some trees. Same here, that's just water. All I'm going to do is go for cad orange with a bit of sap green. So it's really a sort of olive green, coffee strength. I'm just going to drag this along this front edge for a start, where the field really meets the hedge. I'm just pushing bits in. You can drop a little bit in front of the houses as well. Then I'm going to go back with a stronger mix, maybe a little bit darker, and just pick out the up and downy bits of the hedge. A few round the back, but don't paint over the houses, just scoot round them in a flamboyant way, or any way you choose. Anything except being very spinickety. A little bit of darker colour. And I do this, just moving the brush side to side. And again, if you've got brushes similar or mine, just have a practice with them. Don't just practice on your international paintings, because the skill is in the practice, really. Yeah, going well, guys? Hi there, Moira, welcome along. You're not late at all. Help yourself to a canapé. I think there's a glass of champagne left. Jenny's in charge of the champagne this evening. So there may be some, might not be any. There should be some left, Ask Jenny. Right, okay, got that to there. I'm going to leave the houses for the time being. I'm going to come in this way. So get my line on. Help yourself, we've got plenty. So it was the same sort of hedge colour. And if you do the sections in similar tones and colouring, i.e. this hedge same as that, then that will bolster up the story that it's the same sort of thing. Again, I can cut in front of these buildings, and that, very simply, that just says that these are the hedges in front of the building. Don't you worry, Monica. You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. Jenny's in charge of the drinks. Monica, help yourself. She says there's a little left. I bought 15 bottles. I don't know what's going on. Every week I buy 15 bottles. Evaporation, I would imagine. Once you've got these shapes on, you can decide how big you want the trees to be, or the hedges, but really trees, they're going to be the biggest thing in there. And the other thing to do, make your trees bigger on the outside edge. Maybe just one in the centre a bit, but don't put your big stuff just here and small there. Do it the other way around. Okay, so we got that on. Now, let's have a look. I'm going to drag a few bits of greenery. No, forget that. Sorry about that. Miss Rigger again. Welcome back, Miss Rigger. Thank you, Andrew. Little bit of darker colour, so I've got cobalt blue and Indian red. So just in between some of the houses, I'm going to put a few little darker lines. These will sort of pick one out from the other. But again, they're too far away to be too descriptive. So this is the classic, a little bit of negative paint, and a lot of this is negative painting. I don't know if Janet's with us this evening. Janet is a great fan of negative painting, as we all know. In fact, she did a painting this week, and I saw her use negative painting. So we have a convert. I've got a bit of water on this now. I'm just dragging some of this colour into some of the buildings and around some of the buildings, but predominantly leaving them white. This is the village of Whitesville with just white houses. Good question, Jenny Foles. Yes, they are. Draw you in. So imagine if you've got all the build-up stuff there, you've got your big centre of interest, and then it tapers away, but the angle draws you in, and also the size of the trees, really. Right, while we've got that, I'm just going to get some windows in. Now these are difficult, yeah? I don't often say that, I don't often pre-warn you, and I don't often want to scare you at all, but these are difficult. So, all I've got, Miss Rigger, I've got cobalt blue and a little bit of Indian red, and then all I'm going to do is there, little dots. I say dots, what they are slight dots, and then drag down slightly. Even on the church, these could be windows. What they are so far away that you just pick up a little sense of a darker shape. Got those on. And just a little bit of water. And you can reshape things just by moving that about. So you just push it about a bit. Same with these. Once you've got them on, you can push a bit of water over them and it softens the edges a bit. So if any are screaming out at you, throw a bucket of water on them. That takes the edge off. Yeah? So, got all that on. We'll just leave that now. Really, don't need to do much more of that. And now you can actually see where your cloud, or you can on mine, where the clouds are showing themselves. Quite simply, we didn't even paint them, we went round them. Right, a little bit of foreground, folks. How does that sound? Excellent, excellent. Right, let us do, let's do them both together actually. Dangerous Dave, bit of water, dragged across, down to the walkway. Same the other side, water. If you can, try and leave a few little gaps, because nice bit of white paper can be really good to describe things. Yep, little cottages there, all painted white. They had some emulsion, did the lot in one go. I've got very weak lemon yellow. Just drag that down about halfway. Same here. Notice how I'm angling this down each time. Just again, this brings the viewer to where the point of interest is. I've got that on. Now I've got a bit of cad orange and a little bit of Indian red, but again very weak. Delicately put on. I'm actually putting a reservoir of it just there, and just dragging that out. Keep that light, and then just do your darker stuff just to the front. In here. Just drag down to the front again. Now, what I'm actually going to do is a bit of splatter early on. Usually do it at the end, but I want to splatter some little dots and dashes into here. So I've got Miss Rigger, I've got lemon yellow, splatter that across. Same the other side, not so much the other side because this side is closer to me, so I can you can see it better. A little bit of cad orange. You can see how wet it is because that just disappears. Again, if you put the splatter and do it down in this corner, nearest part to you. So I'm kicking the table there, guys. Right, now I'm going to get some cad red. Still going to splatter. Coffee strength. Again, keeping it along this frontage bit. And again, just throwing that on there. Now what I want to do now is add a bit of texture. So this is still Miss Rigger, may as well. Cad orange, Indian red. I just want to bring a few little lines across. Small little lines. As soon as you touch the paper, you'll know how wet it is. So if it's soaking or it's drifting off too rapidly, you leave it and go back in a few moments. Doesn't take that long. Hi Janet, blimey, where have you been? We wondered if Jenny's kept you a nice glass of champagne on ice. Nothing but the best. And help yourself to a Ferrero Rocher. Now don't do lines all over, do a few, leave a gap, do a few more. Yeah, we've not done any negative painting behind your back, Janet, don't you worry. Bit at the front, cad orange, Indian red. Now this time, closer to the front, I'm going to do a few lines upwards, yeah? These are more individual. Hey, blimey. How's that? That is good, Janet. Negative painting, zoom, that's brilliant. Right, a few lines upwards. These are liquid. And I'm going to make them slightly higher towards this edge. Again, what we're trying to do is get the viewer to look in to the image. A few little lines. Bit of water on this rigger now. Now I'm just going to flick this through some of the liquid paint I've got. So it softens it, but also gives you that nice movement. Yes, Janice, going to throw a few flowers in a moment. Got those on? And a little bit the other side. If I take it down to the edge. We're going to a few little wispy bits that side. So again, that's all Miss Rigger work, just flicking it about. Right, now, as you rightly said, Janice, a few poppies, why not? Mini Dave, poppies. Little splodges. Try not to make them in a straight line. Want a few up, a few down. A few big, a few small. A few to the side of the fence there. You can have a few little small ones just in the distance. And a little bit of water. These can run off. Yeah, don't want to put too many. You can easily drench it in poppies, but not at the moment. While I've got some of these wet, I'm going to drop a little bit of alizarin crimson in, just on this rigger. Not in all of them, just a few. Remember, this side, they're going to be smaller than this side. Right, okay. Before I get carried away with poppies, I'm going to put a little bit of an avenue, multilingual me, multilingual, down that walkway. So I've got Mini Dave, got some Coffee Strength, Royal Blue. I'm just going to tap a bit of this on. Don't worry about the shape of it too early. And even though I've gone over this bit, I'm going to throw some in anyway, and that gives you that suggestion. avenue, and then a little bit of water up to these. And just pulling a few back over the field. Really what these are shadows. I think I might even put a little bit of ultramarine blue in there. That darkens them. Again, I leave a gap. Move on down the road a bit. Yep. Let's have a look, Peggy. Not overly. Really for these, generally when I use the sort of opaque ones, I'm trying to hold the tone of something rather than it bleeding off too much. But I don't really adhere to it too much at all. I don't want any delicate work on there. Right, there's the field. Now then, what about Jeff and June time? They've got to get in, haven't they? Because they're going down to the village. This is obviously a little while ago. They're off down to the village for a nice cup of tea. June wants a whiskey, but Jeff is more of a tea sort of guy. Man after my own heart. Man after my own heart. Right, we've got Cad Orange. Yeah, my Royal Blue. There we go. I'll put it on screen again for you guys so you can see it. So it's Blue Royale, Royal Blue, something else, and Azure Real. Different names. Sennelier colour. And really the main one that resonates with me is Royal Blue. Yes, I do use cerulean blue. That could easily work, and I used to use it a lot, and I'm actually coming back to it as well. Right, Jeff and June. Cad Orange, Jeff's head, June's. Yeah. I think Jeff should have a nice little, let's have a little blue shirt. Well, I say blue shirt, no, a white shirt, but with a bit of patterning on it. So I've got a very weak royal blue. I'm just going to put roughly the shape of his shirt on, body. A little bit of cobalt at the back. Now we've got June. What shall June be wearing? I think she's got a nice green dress. She's not worn that for ages. One of Jeff's favourites. Bung it on. Bung it on. I'm using lemon yellow and sap green. Could be a bikini, a bit sharp in that corn though, Sandra, don't you feel? But if June's on whiskey chasers when she gets to the village, bit of corn in your calf ain't going to be a problem, is it? Right. What I'm going to do though, is a little V at the back, tapers in. And drag that back a bit. Now you might say June's got no arms. Well, she has. She has. We've got the shape of the clothes on. Now I'm going to put Jeff's arm on. There it is. That's his t-shirt. He means business. Then June's as well. Now June has got a V-shaped arm today. Down and up. And the second arm just going back. So I know these are bleeding into the dress, but that's good. That's what I want. I think it's quite sunny, so June can have a hat on. going to go for a greeny one with a little bit of pink in it, to be honest. Now you may wonder why June's arm is bent like that. Well, I'll tell you why. Because we're going to use a little bit of rose opera. She is styling, but I'll tell you what else she's doing. Little bit of rose opera and a little bit of cad red to one side, even a little bit of alizarin. Guess what's happening? He's bought her a balloon. Well, not just any balloon, it's an M&S balloon. English joke, folks. Right, let's have a little look. Just there, what we've got is a little string. June is holding up that little Valentine's Day balloon. The joke, Janet, is M&S are a store, and when you say, oh, it's from M&S, it always says, oh, high quality. Not just any store. So Jeff has gone to town. So a little bit of white in there, you can't really see that, but anyway. So a little balloon there, Jeff's bought her. And they're walking down to have a little drink. How's that? Because, guys, you know what it is very soon? Exactly. It is Valentine's Day next week, is it not? So I thought we'd celebrate with a Jeff and June, go for a drink in the countryside. He is, Janet, yeah. Note, just give June a hairdo. He is quite the romantic. Clark Gable of the village. Right, now I've got a little bit of royal blue and ultramarine blue. Sorry, where can you get royal blue from? If you're in the UK, SAA. If you're not in the UK, SAA. If you go on there, I think that's where I get mine from. So just most places do it, but I know they do it. And they do ship abroad, so it should be okay. Yeah, good point, Jenny. We never got he never popped the question, did he? Right. Maybe this week. By the time they get to the village, they could have a mortgage and a host of utility bills. That'd be nice. Little lines on the sleeve there. Then just around the shape of the back. Ah, brilliant, Janet. So, well, yeah, they do ship to America. You'll get it on. You'll get them on there quite easily. Go on, put Sennelier in, royal blue, and it'll be on there. And I don't. Janet might be more in tune with the shipping prices. I don't really know. Right, got those on there. Jeff's jeans, there they are. Look. M&S jeans, not just any old jeans. Okay, there he is. Ah, good one, Peggy. Yeah, try on there. So there they are walking down the little avenue. So I'm going to put a little fence up because I don't want them disappearing in the corn. We've got bread to make. That's the only thing I need making. Right. So this side, let's have a few little, what do you call them? Posts. There's one there. I'll pull them in for a start and make them quite thin, and then if I want to make them thicker, I can do. But remember what we did with the drawing, we made these close together the further down. And then they just disappear into dots. Oh, I think you're right. I think, yeah, Jeff should propose on Valentine's Day. So what is on next week, isn't it? I'll let you know how he gets on. If he's still wearing that shirt. Okay. A little bit of fence work. I've gone for the classic 3-plank fence. But again, the further down, the rougher they get. I don't mean Jeff and June. I mean the fence. Because again, it's detail. Now, even though what we're doing, we're exaggerating the size of the poppies for does she accept or mull it over? After the third whiskey, she's still thinking about it. She's flat on the floor, but she's still thinking about it. And Jeff's just sitting there holding the balloon, looking out the window. So I'm putting a few dark little dots in some of these. It just tells you a bit more about what it is. In fact, next week's painting, I've just got Jeff here walking this way and June staggering with a pop balloon and not looking too good. She keeps falling in the corn. Farmer's livid. But it's the way it is. That's life, isn't it? Yeah, there'll be a busload of give it 9 months, Janet. There'll be a busload of them going out, all beginning with J. Jemima, Geronimo, get on the bus. Get on the bus. What I'm doing now, besides enjoying my own story, actually. A few little lines now that are specific to some of these poppies. Notice I'm leaning them in slightly. And the great thing is you can put them on. If you don't like them, just run a bit of water over them. And put a few false trails in there. Actually, it does bring it up to date, so this could have been whatever period, but little things, you know, if I put telegraph poles in or pylons, not that I would, but it gives it a time point. So again, these little lines, you can make them darker. Every time you've got an opportunity to guide people into the view, I'd take it. i.e. I'm putting these a bit darker this edge and then the lighter here. Hi there Ashley, welcome along. We've only just started, Ashley. Help yourself to a glass of champagne. Jenny's in charge. We've got through 5 bottles already, but we'll open another, don't you worry, don't you worry. Yeah, but I think they'll get rid of the corn, Janet, and just have Jeff and June's kids in there, like a big play area. Right, we've got those on. I don't have to give June a ribbon. Mind you, if hanging about with Jeff for that long, without proposing, she needs a medal, doesn't she? Little waist thing there, look at that. Sets it off. Oh, Jeff is great. Right, anything else, guys? You see, I don't want to go back in fiddling about with those. I like them the way they are. They're loose, the distant, they say what it does on the can, i.e. it's a village, a white village. We've got the fields in the background. As I said before, you can carve these up, literally. Again, just further down. Yeah, the thing about the... Now then, okay, quick question. What would you do with the clock on the steeple? So you painted here, you may have painted yours at the moment, you may have a little area for a clock. What would your choice do? What would you do? That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, okay. Leave it as it is. Jenny, nothing? Just while you put that down, I'm just dragging a few little lines across the fields again. This is dry now. Still following that original idea of a line we put on. And you know when you've got corn, now it's not just lines of corn, is it? You've got little gaps, you've got the wind blowing. So it's those little gaps in between. So let's have a little look. So what would you do? Nothing. Bright blue. Glow from inside. Maybe darken around it. So a perfectamundo. You smack on again there, Maisie. You keep getting these quizzes. So right. So right. I would actually leave it. Now you see it's a shape, a circle roughly. You see it's a church roughly. So all the information's there. To do anything more to it, particularly to enhance it, is to gild it too much. So you're only trying to tell a little. That's not an overly relevant bit. So long as it says or gives the idea of what it is, that's enough. You could do it light blue if it was that, but it could dampen it down a bit and lose the benefit. So if you're on a win, I'd put the money in your bag and join Jeff and June. Don't keep forcing an issue, i.e. too much info. Wind it up, yeah, actually that might help. So I've now got a little bit of splatter again. I've got a little bit of cad orange. It was cad orange. These are just little marks, distant marks. And again, it's the same with the gaps in the field. You only see little marks here, there and everywhere. Now when you splatter stuff, you're going to get these little marks here. Now all I do is run a bit of water over them and that shifts them like a little hoover. I quite often leave them because I don't mind them, but that's all I do to get rid of them. Yeah? Right, I don't think there's a lot more to do, guys. That's little Jeff and June's outing to the countryside, and obviously, as I said before, they're going to celebrate Valentine's Day. Jeff's bought the present, they're off to the pub. Yeah? Perfect day. What a perfect day. And yes, it does make you think about when we will, hopefully, in the not too distant future, be able to do that all again. So we're looking forward to that day, and until that day we can imagine it and enjoy it and learn from it as well, learn the skills. So, little signature, guys, as ever, always sign your work, be proud of what you do. Voila. So, that's it for this week, guys. This is going to be our little challenge. Oops, there's Miss Rigger running away. Gone in June's bag. This is going to be the challenge on tomorrow. So this is going to be on the loosewatercolours.com page for you to have a go at. Website, sorry, it's going to be on the main website, and also it's going to be available for a few days on the various Facebook areas we've got. Give it a go, take it steadily. There's lots of little bits you can learn in there. It doesn't have to be such a big scene. You can narrow it down, one house, one church, little lane. It will all work the same. It's a nice little view, and if you could almost, you've got time to convert it into a fabulous little Valentine's card. So how's that sound? Sounds like a deal, guys. The pencil drawing or the line drawing and the finished or the previous finished one are on loosewatercolours.com broadcast page at the bottom there, and it's also floating about in the ether as well, so that's available for your delectation. Just to thank you so much again, guys, for all your support each and every day, and also the support you give to everybody else on the various sites, which is fabulous, and it's encouraging, and swapping information as well. That is really good. Really do appreciate that. It's sharing the knowledge and sharing the love of loose watercolours. So if you do want to see more of the full videos, the full tutorials, all narrated with all the bits and bobs, dancing and singing whistles, plus we've got the new little mini tutorials underneath. So if you get stuck on anything, they take you off and they give you the individual little bits of information you might be stuck on. So say it's clouds, there'll be one on there somewhere, and all the splatter work and all the bits and bobs. Eventually I'm going to cover everything, including the kitchen sink, so you may be able to have a little mini video on how to sort the plumbing out in the kitchen. But not just yet, let's stick to watercolours. So thanks, guys, you've been stars. I shall see you again very, very soon, and also on the members group of the Facebook page, which if you're a member of loosewatercolours.com, you get automatic inclusion and invite to join the Facebook page. We've got a new challenge on there today, sent in by Millie, so give that one a whirl, that's a fab one. And then there's a host of other things on the way. There should be a new video on tomorrow as well. So I've been a busy boy, and now you're going to be busy people getting loose in your fabulous style. So thanks again, guys, you've been absolute stars, and I shall see you again very, very soon. Take care.